A new book by the New York Times bestselling author Ijeoma Oluo is more than just an educational tool. It's also being hailed as a call to action for readers to create positive, systematic change in their communities. Be a Revolution: How Everyday People Are Fighting Oppression and Changing the World, and how you can too, hits bookstores today. And I'm so pleased to have Ijeoma here with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so tell us more about the book.
I'm so excited about this book. So this book is really a labor of love, looking at a lot of the movement work community that has been sustaining communities of color for multiple generations. And so I sat down with dozens of movement workers in all sorts of fields all across the United States to talk about their work and their journeys to this work in order to invite other people to join and support that work.
And it's so amazing because I love that you are telling the personal stories of more than 30 people in this book. How did you choose them, and what was it like to get all their stories? I mean, they're all incredible.
It was such an honor, and it felt like a huge responsibility as well. There were some people that I knew right away I wanted to interview because I knew them from movement work, but a lot of people were introduced to me by other movement workers. I asked, you know, who would you love to see in this book? And I was so surprised at some of the introductions that were made, people doing really exciting and amazing work, and luckily they trusted me with their stories.
And I also really liked, after each person that you interview, the last part, it says, be a revolution, and then you give people resources on how to specifically work on those causes, which I think is so helpful. So I really like that part too. Big emphasis in your book on intersectionality. So tell us what that is and why it's so important.
Thank you. Intersectionality is the acknowledgement that we don't leave parts of our identity at the door, that we are all impacted in different ways by systemic oppression and by privilege based on our identity. So I'm a Black queer woman. All of those aspects of my identity impact me. And when we're thinking about creating change, we need to say who is being left out, who needs to be included, and who's impacted by this. And intersectionality helps us do that without causing harm.
And what are you hoping readers will walk away from after they read your book?
I hope that, if anything, readers walk away knowing there is a place for them in this work. No matter what your skill set, no matter where you come from, if you want to create positive change, you absolutely can.
That's why I think this is a really good book for anybody, but especially young people. You know, in college, and you know, they have all these ideas, and this is really a way to look at history and also a way forward. Been 5 years since the release of your bestseller. You want to talk about race. Do you think the conversation has changed since this book?
I think that it is always changing and growing, and people are still finding their way into the conversation every day. So I think there's a space for everyone, no matter where you are in your journey.
So are you optimistic?
I have to be. That's why I do this work. I believe that people can grow and change, and I believe that together we can create really important change that impacts all of our lives for the better.
Thank you so much for being here and for the work that you did on this book. I know it took many years. All right, Be a Revolution is available now at all major booksellers. We'll be right back.